Hey guys, it's me Chandrik, and so today's video all covering for Wuthering with censorship. So basically the censorship already applied couple days ago. I just covered this quite late already. But yes, to refresh, maybe some of you don't know that technically couple days ago they kinda censored. There's two things that literally impactful: the Fleur-de-Lis, the S one kinda getting censored, and also Cantarella, the camel toe or something like that, it's getting censored. So yeah, those of two that major that getting censored. And anyhow, I want to address regarding it, and I will to share my experience to a little bit clarify. Of course, this is not 100% factual because Kuro haven't released any statement, but at least this is based on my experience playing a lot of different CN gacha games regarding this censorship. Because right now when I open, let's say social media, especially you open the X, just battle royale here and there, it's just open fire here and there. And now even worse because right now all the gacha games even right now all have battle royale. I open HSR, have drama, everything has so much drama, what? But yeah, specifically in here, I want to address regarding the CN censorship, especially in Wuthering Waves. And the first thing I want to clarify, maybe some of you still knew that why typically CN games usually want to censor the game. Is it actually because the company itself they want to censor, or is actually the external factor? And as far as I know, in general, most of the case game that I play or I know, let's say Genshin, ZZZ, Aether Gazer, Ezreal Lane, Snowbreak, PGR, and so on game that actually get censorship, it's usually not because the company won. It's usually also not because the player demand oh, I hate because they put fan service, you should censor here and there. Usually that's not typical the case, but it's more like the CN government. It's usually they getting caught by the government and they see hey, you are not following our regulation, so you have to kinda follow our regulation right now. So usually because of that, they forced to censor the game. So yeah, in very short, usually it's no one fault, not even player, not even a company. It's just CN government being CN government. And second, maybe some of you already question but Wuthering Waves right now already 16 plus, right? Why do you want to censor? Well, I have some bad news for you. It's even you become 16 plus, 18 plus, it doesn't guarantee you to avoid censorship. I will give you another bad news that I'll just give straight up example. Snowbreak, I think couple months ago, and actually I cannot even avoid censorship. Some of the clothing I have, if I'm not wrong, getting changed just because probably it's too sexual, so they get it forced or something like that. So it's technically censored too. You will not escape from CN censorship. And third, maybe some of you wonder, but we are a global server, right? Why they just separate between global and CN? And yeah, this is actually a couple of the company or couple game actually did this. Let's say Aether Gazer, they actually have the uncensored version for the global right now, but in CN it's censored. Same kinda PGR, but not really sure later on the later patch they will follow the censor or not. But so far right now we still don't get any censored. But the thing is that to make it separate like that, it's kinda tricky because they need to kinda do a little bit research, because at the worst case is that some CN might be jealous and they might be kind of boycott here and there, so they need to little bit be careful. Technically they can do that, but there's kind of potential negative effect boycott, which is they need to be a little bit be careful in there. And so far that I know, the one that have uncensored and censored version, usually typical game that have different time release. Let's say Aether Gazer, right? CN has different time release and global have different time release. So also same PGR right now we have a different time release. So not really sure the game Genshin or WuWa where they usually release worldwide at the same time. Usually they just make everything the same. And the last question, is there any track record that they kinda revert back the censorship here and there? As far as I know, all the game that I play or even I follow the news, I think none of them that they revert. At the best is that they can keep the clothes that you already have, but in the shop you cannot buy anymore, but you still have it. Or the things is that they give alternative costume that you can still choose the old one Genshin, or they kinda make somehow little bit changes but not too obvious much different. Let's say PGR that I think they did an amazing job, or they somehow fix it but not technically fix it. It's still kinda a little bit censorship, where the ZZZ camera, they make it a little bit less kinda transparent at least, but none of them that completely they kinda revert it back. But for WuWa, of course, we still don't know. maybe they will do something different. So yeah, the bad news in here is that usually there's nothing that you can do if they already like getting like trouble from the CN government. It is what it is. This is always like become the big cons for me playing CN games, that you always kind of prone to get censorship, especially something maybe too gore, too bloody, or even like too sexual. Usually they will come after you, and then yeah, the company will getting like censored or something like that. It is what it is. That's why like in here I say like you don't need to fight between each other, like even don't need to blame Kuro here and there. You don't need to fight between player, literally useless, because it's just basically external factor though. There's nothing that you can do. At least we as a old gacha game player that play a lot of CN gacha game, we already like usually say CN being CN. And if you ask what is my opinion regarding this censorship, to be honest, I always against censorship, but because this is not my first time, probably my 5th time like encounter this, I already dead inside. I have no soul regarding this censorship. I just know that if they censored, it is what it is. I just accept my fate. Like I'm already tired to complain. Like there's nothing you can do. So yeah, but at least the censored from Cantarella, they haven't nerfed or even removed the best part of it. So I'm actually not really too mad. Although it's fair for you to kinda demand some like clarification or at least official statement, because kinda like coming from PGR alone, like same Kuro game, they at least announced like they made changes on this character. But for Wuthering Wave, it's kinda silence. I'm not really sure what happened. Maybe it's just like emergency, we still don't know. I don't know if they want to address it or not, but yeah, if you kinda demand for the clarification or statement, I think it's also fair. So yeah, that's it. It's mostly external factor from the government. What else we can do? Don't need to fight between each other, just chill between each other and yeah, love each other, okay? So if you like this video, feel free to hit the subscribe button and like, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.